Hello and welcome everybody. This is a tutorial to show you how to use timstocklist.com. Hello, my name is Tim and I'm the creator of this site, and I'm creator of the products that this site is asking you to subscribe to. So you can, when you get to the home page, you'll see some descriptions of the why you should subscribe, what are some of the benefits of subscribing to the stock list, and then also kind of a description of what this is. So what this is I've put together an application that goes and gets the data on all the publicly traded stocks on NASDAQ, New York Stock Exchange, and Amex exchanges. And then what I do is, so every day that runs, I get all the financial information on each of those symbols, and then I run some algorithms, some queries against those based on two algorithms I have, one for growth stocks, one for dividend stocks. And so then what that does is it basically identifies stocks that are good candidates for growth. That's the growth stocks algorithm. And then the dividend stocks algorithm, that's going to identify stocks that pay a dividend and are have good financial fundamentals that they'll be able to keep paying that dividend. And that's kind of what this site is about. And you'll get, when you sign up, these lists that get generated, you'll get emailed. And so you won't get emailed every day. You'll get, obviously, when you first sign up, whenever the job runs, then the query, the algorithms are processed, then it'll send emails out to all the subscribers. And so you would get an emailed report at that time. However, you can also go on the site and get to the report, get to the growth stocks list and the dividend stocks list anytime you want. So that's kind of just going over what this is about. Going on, looking at the site, I have a section here that talks about my story. There's a frequently asked questions page here where I'm updating this as much as I can to, as new questions come up, I'll add them to this list. There's also a contact Tim form, which means you can, anytime you have a suggestion or a problem with something, go ahead and fill this form out and I'll get that and I'll be able to act on that. If there's a suggestion, I'll probably incorporate it into the site, or if it's a question, I'll probably take that and put it on the frequently asked questions. Now you can see here I'm already logged in, but what I want to show you is like how do you get this? How do you get these stock lists mailed to you? Well, first of all, let me just go ahead and log in first, just so you can see what it looks like. So once you're logged in, when you log in, you're going to be on the subscribers area of the site. And so you'll see here, here's a description of the growth stock list that was already on the homepage. Same thing with dividend stock list, but it's nice to have it here. It's convenient. So as you're, it's kind of a reminder, like when you get the list, you're like, okay, yeah, this is the criteria for this one. And you can see here, here's the different reports that have been generated in the past. You can see here, you may notice that the dividend stock list, the last time it was generated was November 12th. And the growth stock list was November 14th. Well, the reason why this one didn't get generated again is because there were no changes. So that's the beauty of this. You're not going to get bombarded with emails, right? So you have a list. You can kind of focus on the stocks on that list if you want to do your own research. Hopefully, do some due diligence, because that's what this is all about. It's all about saving you time. I've gone through. I have these algorithms that I've developed, and I take the time of having to go through 6,000-7,000 stocks, and I kind of funnel it down into this criteria, which gives you maybe like 10 or less stocks that you have to look at. So it saves a lot of time. So let's take a look at the growth stock list first. And this is just it's an XLSX file. So it's a Microsoft Excel 2007 compatible spreadsheet. So if you use an open source viewer, should be able to open source view this, or should be able to open up these files, no problem. You can see here, this case, it's a very short list. There's only five stocks that meet the criteria of the growth list. And the criteria is pretty basic, right? So the criteria is, to put it in real simple terms, these stocks are making money and they don't owe anybody else any money, or very little. And that's kind of what the deal is. And surprisingly, there's not a lot of companies out there that are making money and don't owe anybody money, believe it or not. There's not that many out there. So you can see, like, there's a green bar going across here for this one, and that's because it's newly added to the list. So anytime a stock is added, you'll see a green bar here. Also in the email that you get, whenever you get one of these lists emailed to you. So first of all, to take a step back, whenever a list changes, and from whenever the last time it was run. So if it was run on a Friday and this is run on a Monday, we have changes in the growth list, then a new report will be generated, and then I'll get emailed out to all the subscribers. So you'll get a new email. You'll get an email for a list whenever it changes, but you won't just keep getting the same. You won't get an email every day if the list doesn't change. So you're not getting bombarded with emails. That's kind of nice. And then if you don't want to look at your email, you just want to come to the site and open the file, you can do that too, like what I just did right here. But you can see here, like these columns are frozen, so you can kind of look through here and do like a little bit of, do your own due diligence. There's a lot of information here. There's also, I put in comments on the columns. So when you click on these columns, you get a little explanation of what the column is about. So in this case, most recent quarter means this was the most recent 10Q file date for the company. Earnings growth, the growth in net income from the past year to the year before. Net cash position, total cash from the most recent, let me scroll to the right. Total cash from the most recent quarter minus the total debt from the most recent quarter. So you can kind of see here, there's a lot of good information. These are the columns that I thought were most important for growth stocks. You can see here total debt, most recent quarter, long-term debt past year. So sometimes you'll see some debt in here, but what we're really looking at is the equity to debt ratio, and that's got to be greater than 0.75 for it to hit this list. And then the growth needs to be there. So the growth, if we go back, the growth has to be, or actually it's the positive earnings growth, and then the PE ratio needs to be half the growth rate or less. Positive net income, free cash flow ratio less than 10. So that's, come over here, look at free cash flow ratio. I give an explanation here about free cash flow ratio. You can see here it's the stock's price divided by its total cash per share. Free cash flow is what's left over after normal capital spending is taken out. So if you got anything lower than 10, that's good. Lower the better. All right, so that's it for the growth list. And then the dividend list is very, very similar. You can open up this, take a look. It's got a lot of the same columns that the growth list has. Again, you can see the same functionality here. So a new stock has been added to this list. So it's got a green line going across. And this one, we're really looking for, we want to know information about dividend stocks. So all these stocks to be on here, obviously they have to be paying a dividend. So we're looking at some different things. We're looking at the dividend rate, dividend yield percentage. We still care about debt, obviously. We want to make sure that these companies have enough cash and don't have too much debt, so they're going to be able to keep paying their dividends. But again, it's, we just boiled it down to 12 stocks. And, we're talking about, I don't know how many dividend stocks are out there, but, all stocks, 6,000 or 7,000, boil it down to these 12. So you can really focus in on these stocks to determine like which one's going to be a good fit for you. And I'll be starting a blog also on the site and just kind of talking about some of the some of the decisions and trades that I've made based on these lists, and I've actually done very well. I'll even be posting like what my returns are when I bought certain stocks, when I sold them, that type of thing. So let me go ahead and close this out, and let's go back. I'll log out here, just show you what the process is to sign up. So you just click on subscribe, and then you can select a subscription. So if you want to just do monthly subscription, it's $5 per month. If you want to save $10, you can do the annual subscription, which is $50 per year. So $10 saving over the monthly subscription. And once you do this, it's going to take you out to my payment processor site. So I'm using Stripe. This it's configured for Google Pay. So you can use, I believe we support Apple Pay as well, or you can just enter in your credit card information here. And then once you enter in your information, you're getting 30 days free. So there's always a 30-day trial. So you can see here, if you don't cancel the trial, you'll be charged $5 per month starting December 15th. Today's November 15th. Okay, so you fill in the information and then start trial, then you'll get redirected back to the site, and then I just need to take a few more pieces of information from you, just your first and last name, and then I copy over the email that you put in here, and then that's pretty much it, just your username, or you use your email for your username, and then I just need you to type in your password for the site. And then once that's done, then you are registered, and so come back to the site. You'll be registered once you do that, and then it'll send you a confirmation email just to make sure it was really you. And then once you get that email, as long as you click on the link in the email to confirm your account, then you're all set. You can start using the site, and then you'll be able to come in here and log in. When you log in, by default, you go to the subscribers area. So that was just a quick, brief overview of how to use the site, little tutorial. And again, we'll be adding more content to this, possibly adding more algorithms. But this was just, hopefully gives you a good overview of how to use it and how to get going, getting up to speed quickly on it. Thank you very much.